So let's return back to the Surah by Surah series, shall we? Part 21, Surah Al Anbiya. It's one of my favorite surahs. The Surah of the Prophets, the echoes of legacy lessons for today. Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You know, growing up, we all had our favorite superheroes. Flying capes, laser eyes, dramatic rescues. But have you ever read about a man who split the sea with a stick, or someone who survived a whale's belly? Welcome to Surah Al Anbiya, the real superhero chapter of the Quran with no CGI or special effects, just divine guidance and legendary patience. This surah's overview is Surah Al Anbiya, means the prophets. It was revealed in Mecca. It has 112 verses. Its themes are the prophethood, divine mercy, the struggle between truth and falsehood, and the day of judgment. This surah beautifully links 16 prophets together in rapid succession, making it the Quran's roll call of righteous resilience. SubhanAllah. Structure and highlights. The surah can be broken into three major parts. First part, the reality of this world, verses 1 through 40. Allah opens up the surah with a powerful warning. And I quote, "Closer and closer to mankind comes their reckoning, yet they turn away in heedlessness." That's in the very first verse, chapter 21, verse 1. So, time isn't running out. It's already ran out. The final hour is closer than we think, but many still treat life like it's a joke. The people mocked the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, calling him a poet or a madman, but Allah reminds us truth will always crush falsehood. And mentioned in the Quran, verse 18, chapter 21, verse 18, rather we hurl the truth against falsehood and it crushes it. So the legacy of the prophets, in section number 2, verses 41 through 90, this is the heart of the surah where Allah lists his chosen messengers, each with their own trial and how they turn to him. So let's walk through some of them. Ibrahim alayhi salam, courage in the fire. He smashes idols, is thrown into fire, and Allah makes the fire cool. We say, O fire, be coolness and peace upon Ibrahim alayhi salam. It's in chapter 21, verse 69. If you're on truth, even fire can't harm you. Here's Yunus alayhi salam. Jonas, trapped in darkness, swallowed by a whale, alone in the belly of the deep sea, he calls out, "There is no God but you, glory to be you. I was truly among the wrongdoers." That's in verse number 87. So even in the darkest moments, never stop making dua. Allah hears from land or sea. Zechariah alayhi salam. Hope in old age. Despite being elderly and childless, he makes a sincere dua and Allah blesses him with Yahya, which is John the Baptist alayhi salam. So never, O my Lord, have I been disappointed in you. That's in verse number 4, chapter 19. So you're never too old for a miracle when your heart is young with faith. So Maryam and Isa alayhi salam, Mary and Jesus, peace be upon them, chastity and purity. A woman chosen above all women, she brings forth a child without a father, a sign for the world. So purity, patience, and surrender lead to the eternal honor. Others mentioned including Noah, which is Noah, alayhi salam, Musa and Harun, which is Moses and Aaron, Dawood and Sulaiman, which is David and Solomon, peace be upon them, Ayub, which is Job, tested with extreme sickness, Idris, Ismail, and Dhul-Kafir, which is alayhi salam. All of them, when tested, called out to Allah, and Allah always responded. Indeed, they used to hasten to good deeds and call upon us with hope and fear, and they were humble before us. That's in verse number 90. So, section 3, the day of judgment and the end verses, 91 through 112. Allah reminds us this life is temporary. The final hour will come, and those who deny it will wish they hadn't. On that day, we will roll up the heavens like a scroll for books. Verse number 104. So for my non-Muslims listening out there, to our friends exploring Islam, this surah doesn't just belong to Muslims. It echoes the legacy of the very prophets you already know and love. Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Noah, and much more. Peace be upon them all. But what makes the surah special is how it connects the dots. All prophets were Muslims, not by label, but by complete submission to the one God, our Creator. So all prophets preach the same message: worship Allah alone and follow His guidance. The Quran doesn't erase the message of previous revelations. It confirms, clarifies, and protects it. So if you ever wondered what unites the faith of so many great men and women, this surah shows you the answer to that. So in my reflections, this surah is like a relay race. Prophet after prophet passed the baton of truth. They didn't seek fame. They faced rejection, exile, fire, illness, and even death. But they kept going because they were on the path of La ilaha illallah. So now that baton is in your hands. So what will you do with it? So for my action items, read Surah Al Anbiya and reflect on which prophet's story speaks to you. Study how each of them responded to hardship with dua and patience. Learn about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, connection to these stories. He is the final link. And share the Prophet's story with your family or a non-Muslim friend today. So for my final thought, the prophets are not just names in history. They are living guides for your heart. Each one teaches a lesson, and together they teach you how to walk with Allah, even when the world is walking away.